everyone, Kyle Lewis here from the Worship Keyboard Tutorial YouTube channel, giving you tips and tricks to help you with your worship keyboard ministry. In my last video, I talked about the 3 biggest mistakes that I see keyboardists make when playing in a band situation. But it doesn't do as much good to tell people what they shouldn't do unless you replace it with what they should do. So in this video, I'm going to give you some simple things that you can do to sound better in a band situation. How to complement as opposed to compete with. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so that you can be aware of future videos. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. All right, if you're ready, let's get started. Now you can get a free PDF by clicking the link below, and it has all of the things that I'm playing in this lesson, plus a few extras. So let's dive in. One of the first things that you can do to find your place in the band, to complement as opposed to competing with, is to arpeggiate. Now, arpeggiate is just a fancy way of saying I'm breaking up the notes in the chord. So I'm going to use the same chord progression that I used in the first video. I'm going to use my D, G, B minor, and A. So this first chord D, I could play like that. Now if I play all those notes, that's playing the chord. But to arpeggiate means that I'm taking the notes of that chord and I'm playing them one at a time. So I'm going to find some places that I can play notes of my chord one at a time so it doesn't sound like I'm just pulsing out chords. In the first example, I'm going to be arpeggiating mostly in measures 1 and 3. Now measures 2 and 4, I'll be doing a little bit of movement, but most of the arpeggiation is going to be in that first and third measure. So let's listen to the first example. Now the second example I'm going to play has most of the arpeggiation in measures 2 and 4 with a little bit of movement in measures 1 and 3. So let's listen to that example. And then end it on the D chord. So the second thing that you can do, which is actually easier than it sounds, is to move the notes outside of the chord and then come back. So that's a simple thing that you can do, is move a note out and then come back in. So let's look at the first example. What we're going to do is we're going to take the root of that second chord, G, and all we're going to do is we're going to move that root, so in this case that would be G, we're going to move it up a note and then back. That's all we're going to do. So listen to how that first example sounds. I'm going to add some arpeggiation on the D chord, and then I'm going to move that note in the G chord up and then back. It's something very simple, but it sounds really good. So that's taking the note and moving it up. Now let's take that same note and move it down. So we're moving it out of the chord down and then coming back. So let's see how this sounds. So now that I've played for you different examples of arpeggiation and moving notes, I'm now going to play with the track so you can hear how it sounds in context with the guitar and the drums. And the example that I played with the moving note was just the root note. But when I'm playing, I'm actually going to use the third or the fifth, moving it up or down. So I'm going to show you some different combinations that you can use with arpeggiations and moving notes. So you'll notice that when I was playing, sometimes I'll start with arpeggios, sometimes I'll start with moving notes. Sometimes I'll do 2 in a row of one or the other. I'm really trying to mix it up so I don't play the same patterns over and over again. So now the key for you and the work for you now is to experiment. Find the things that you do like, find the things that you don't like. Try to break up the pattern so you're not always playing the same thing. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and feel free to leave me a comment down in the comment box. Thanks again for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye.